Hey YouTube, Shobi here with a review of the Figma 175 and 176 Pit and Dark Pit, in Japan known as Black Pit, from Kid Icarus Uprising for the Nintendo 3DS. So the next in the Nintendo series is Pit and Dark Pit, after we got Samus from Metroid Other M and Link from Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So now we have Kid Icarus Uprising. The next one is set to be unknown because they haven't announced anyone after Dark Pit yet. But there was a concept sketch of Marth from Fire Emblem Awakening was the newest game. So, yeah, that could happen, I think. But anyway, on to what we have with us now. So this is a Figma Max Factory X Masaki Apsi action figure series. Good old Figma Pit 175 pin on the side here. Shows everything that he comes with. Each of these do come with two Kid Icarus Uprising AR cards. So that's fun if you are a AR card collector. And here is the Dark Pit on the side and everything that he comes with as well. They're the same exact figure outside of a face sculpt change on Dark Pit. But other than that, basically the same figure. So we'll take a look at Pit for the articulation. Very nice figure overall. So he's pretty interesting. He is a fairly small figure, about the same height as D-Arts Rockman, give or take. And it fits, because Pit's not that big of a guy. His wings are done fairly well. They're attached right to the back here, and then we have a little joint right there to go up and down, and then the wings are built to have a hinge right there. So you get about as much articulation as a wing would need to get. So I'm not complaining there whatsoever. Very nice overall. Head can do a complete rotation, but it's a little bit thick because of the neck being a little bit small. But very nice head sculpt overall on him. Very nice gold on the little crown up there. And then the head sculpt in general just looks very, very nice. And game accurate. The cloth doesn't get in the way. It's nice and pliable, so it doesn't really hinder the articulation any. The wings obviously will hinder this arm articulation, but that's fine. The shoulders are a little bit unsightly, but thankfully this one is covered up, and with this one, you just kind of get in a pose to where you don't really notice it, or get it in a kind of straight out pose, and you don't really notice how open that shoulder is. Typical Figma joints through here, a lot smaller scale. The elbows don't stick out nearly as much as they usually do. Same with the ankles, because everything's on a much smaller scale here with Pit. So, overall, very, very nice ball and socket joint in there. Again, this is nice and pliable, so really no huge articulation hindrances, despite how clothed he is. So, very nice, and they got the stage port in the back. So, really, really dig him. He's not my favorite. I like Samus and Link more, both as characters and as figures. But there really isn't anything wrong with Pit, and if you're a Kid Icarus Uprising fan, or you really like Pit and Brawl, or for some reason you really like the old Kid Icarus game, then by all means this is a fantastic figure to pick up. Quick look at Dark Pit in terms of differences. There really isn't any outside of color. He's black, where Pit is white. He's got black hair instead of brown hair. But other than that, same exact figure, just with a new color scheme. And as you can see, his head sculpt, he's frowning because he's angry and he's looking to the side there. So he's got kind of more of a disgruntled anime character look to him, as opposed to Pit. But still very nice look overall. I actually prefer Dark Pit because I like darker color schemes more than white. But yeah, it's up to you on which one to get, or get both. They go together very well, and story-wise, they go together very well too. So that's always something to look out for too. In terms of accessories, they come with pretty close to the same thing. Pit edging out Dark Pit quite a bit in terms of accessory count. Both of them come with the arrow/swords. They come packed with the 2 swords, so each of those can be held in the weapon holding hands. Plus, you can pop out these hilts as I start rolling away on my review station, and then plug in these, and then you'll get his iconic bow slash staff slash double bladed thing. So you can do that on there. There isn't any place to set the arrow, but it does come with an arrow to do that. Pit comes with 2 rings that can slide on to the arrow, just like that. So you have those as an option. Pit also has the rings that go on his wrist. So you just slide these through. And then the socket's kind of small and it is a tight fit. But just kind of get those in there. And so you can put the rings on his wrist if you're not having him fire the arrow. If I remember correctly, when he's firing the arrow, the rings move to the arrow, so they would no longer be on his wrist. But you can have him on his wrist just like that. So if he's not firing the arrow, it's kind of a good idea to do, since it does make it a little bit more accurate. Dark Pit does not come with those accessories, obviously, since he doesn't use the ring power-ups. And here's his alternate face. He's just angry and yelling. All you do is get your nail under, pop off the head. Very, very easy to do. Just like that, just pop off the hair, get your nail under there, pop off the head. Slide this one on, and now he's very disgruntled. Actually, I'm going to keep that one on, just since it seems more fitting, since I'm going to be putting him in an attack pose. So, we'll do that. I'm going to pop the rings off, just because they have a tendency of falling off, and I'm going to have him shooting an arrow anyway, so might as well prep. And that is all for Pit's weapons. Hand-wise, we have 2 molester hands, 2 weapon holding hands, one of which doubles as the bow holding hand, and then this one for holding the arrow. So what you do is, after you slide the ring pieces in, which you don't have to use if you don't want to, since he doesn't actually have the rings until later, if I recall correctly. You just slide that right in there, and now he's holding onto the arrow. Just like that. Cool. And then lastly, he comes with a Monoeye enemy. So that's pretty neat. The Monoeye even comes with a little stand. So you got the little enemy guy. He doesn't do anything. He's just a brick, basically. But it is cool that they included him. Like I said, Dark Pit comes with a lot of the same accessories. So here's his arrow weapon, silver bow, I think it's called. It's the prototype of the Palutena arrow. But so you got that going on. You got the 2 molester hands, which I guess are more fitting for Dark Pit. His angry, yelling face, which is the same exact face, just with his red eye color. Then you've got a new hand to hold his exclusive weapon, which we'll take a look at in a second. The 2 weapon holding hands, and then his arrow holding hand. Now he comes with the Dark Pit staff, which kind of looks like one of those little mix of staff, sword, rifle combos from Kid Icarus Uprising that made up a lot of the weapons in the game. So you have this, and then to have him wield it, this isn't an open hand. You unplug that. Haha. Figure it out right on the fly. Plug that in. Makes me wonder why they just didn't mold the hand in there, but there we go. So just like that. So now he's holding that weapon. Hope it goes that direction. Seems to fit comfortably in there. So that we're going to have him hold that. Because honestly, why would you not hold this if you had it? So let's get these guys into some poses. And if anyone was wondering about the AR cards that come with the figures, here is the AR cards for Pit. You get Damaged Pit and the Monoeye. And then with Dark Pit, you get obviously a card of Dark Pit. And then these guys on the back. Well, not on the back, they're 2 cards, but on the other side of the package. But yeah. And there we go. Kind of the poses I was going for. Pretty close anyway. As you can see, both Figmas come with the typical Figma stand that all Figmas come with. Something that I really wish Figure Arts would do. But very cool, very solid stages. And then they, of course, also come with accessory bags. They're just little Ziploc bags with Figma, and I wrote Dark Pit and Pit on them. But very cool, enough to store the stage, the figure, and all the accessories. So very cool, something I also wish Bandai would get on with. But very cool, and you got this guy hanging out. He's going to get shot or something, but... very, very cool figures. If you're a fan of the game, do not pass these up. Samus and Link became incredibly hard to find until they just got a upcoming re-release for September, I believe. So no telling how rare these guys are going to get, or whether they're going to get a re-release down the road too. So if you are a fan of Kid Icarus, do not hesitate to pick these up. Great little figures. While I like Samus and Link more, these guys don't particularly have any flaws that, I really effed up his arm there. But, any flaws that really get in the way of having an incredibly enjoyable figure. So if you main Pit in Brawl, if you love Kid Icarus, grab these guys. Very, very cool, and, I really just like the way he ends up looking with the arrow and stuff. I like bows, so really, really like Pit in this that regard. So both excellent figures and both definitely worth the pickup. They're about 4,200 yen or so, roughly. But very, very, very cool. So you can check out shukenshobi.com for latest updates on my reviews and hauls, and of course the toy release schedule, and of course check out Riders, Rangers, and Rambles, a podcast bringing latest tokusatsu news in the creative way possible. And be sure to check out cstoysjapan.com for all your tokusatsu merchandise needs. So take care and have a great one. Bye.